Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Cape Complainers. Joining me, as always, are the Cape Complainers. On this episode, I have my X-Men, if you will. We have Devin and Reed. Tim is currently unavailable, and Flippo is, I don't know. What does Flippo do?
They're both doing a show,
They're
so
both
they've got
doing a show.
rehearsals and putting on shows this weekend.
Yeah, they're
This is the
doing
most Tim
things.
hasn't been here.
They are acting, if you will. And today's episode, we are discussing the newest Marvel Studio animation show, X-Men 97. 27 years later, we are back in the world of the X-Men animated series universe. It takes place immediately after, well, I think a year after the events of I think the fourth season of the original series. And
Yeah, 3 or 4.
yeah, it's either 3 or 4. But before we do that,
This is the 5th?
Devin
or-
says 5. Devin says
This is the 6th season.
so. This is wow.
Continuing.
The show
Okay.
ran a lot longer than I thought it did. But before we do that, Devin, what do you got for me today? I need it.
First off, Greg, I want to make an adjustment to one of your comments. You said you've got your X-Men with us. Technically, me and Reed would be your G-Men.
Hey, the Greg men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a really busy week. But one of the thoughts that I wanted to kind of keep it related to the show a little bit because I was excited about the show. Since we don't have a video showing this week until I can get some help from Tim. Greg came in. He had his Magneto helmet ready to go. I had my Wolverine helmet ready to go. Reed bought a whole brand new, like, super cool colored pop the size of his head.
Yeah, we were really gonna.
I mean, not just for the show. I saw it and I was like, "That's cool."
Yeah,
I'm
like
gonna treat myself.
we really upped the production value of this show, and we can't even stream it live. It's a shame.
We'll work on it though.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime this week. Anyway, so my thought was, as I was watching the show, I was thinking about way back in the day who my favorite X-Men were, right?
Mm-hmm.
And way back in the day,
I was just gonna ask how many are in total X-Men? You know, like how
there's
many
a
are there?
lot.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch.
But in the show, there's very few. Like, it's
Right.
funny because when you watch the older seasons, we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Anyway, back in the day, my favorite X-Men used to be Cyclops. Way, way back in the day, when I was younger and I had the toys.
Yeah.
I was thinking about their powers.
Oh, cool!
And I was thinking, like, man, who has the coolest, most versatile power?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's my question today. Which mutant do you think, from like the main, we'll keep it simple. Out of the X-Men,
Mm-hmm.
who has the coolest, most versatile power?
Oh, that's pretty tough. I mean, there's Omega mutants, and then there's like not really good mutants. Like
The lower tier.
there's
Yeah.
one mutant who literally his power is to explode, but if he does, he'll die. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I think my favorite X-Men has always been Magneto, and he's an X-Men. Let's all get off our high horse and agree that the show has made it canon. Yeah.
Season,
The show that we're talking about has officially made it canon that he is, but he's an X-Men.
So this is not canon in the comics.
I don't know about that.
Well, yeah, Magneto running the X-Men.
At different points he has. So, like, there was an alternate universe where Charles Xavier did die, so Magneto formed the X-Men, and it's the universe where, like, Wolverine only has one hand. He's a little bit more wild, things like that. But I think, like, right now in the comics, Magneto and all the X-Men are kind of like, and like 90% of the mutants are all kind of like on the same team. I wouldn't say he's part of the X-Men, but he is like a mutant leader alongside Charles Xavier and others,
Yeah,
Mister Sinister and things like that.
yeah, he's I just looked it up in some of the Uncanny X-Men universe. Uh he led a team of young mutants who Professor X has taught and all that stuff. And then in Civil War II, he did some stuff. A reformed Magneto became the headmaster of Xavier after Xavier had left Earth. So yeah, he's led before. So he's an X Men. Let's just say he's an X
After,
Men.
well, after Charles Xavier died and Cyclops was ousted from the X Men, and he created his own squad with Magneto.
Yeah.
Magneto, I guess, was I guess an X Men if you call that squad an X Men.
Yeah. Well, back to the original point. I think X Men. I mean, fuck, Magneto. I think Magneto probably has a really neat power that I think yeah. I'm gonna say Magneto. That's gonna be mine.
What do you got, Reed?
So if you want to talk versatile, there are two that come to mind. Jean Grey, who has telepathic and telekinetic. Telepathic, you can talk to anybody in their mind. That's super versatile. Telekinetic, you can move things with your mind, limited to the power to, if it's too big, too heavy, this or that, whatever. But you can move a lot of things with just your mind.
Yeah.
So that is very versatile. And then there's Storm.
Yeah. Storms is pretty great.
Any type of weather. There's you can count different types of weather on both your hands, maybe some of your toes. That's a lot of things to change and control and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that is very versatile as well.
Humidity.
Can I do it?
Yeah. If you're
Oh,
having
name
I
the
want you to
powers
count
instead of
on your
actually.
hands and your toes to see how many you can
yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
but then there's it's a big spectrum, to super stormy, rainy, thunder, lightning all together, and then you dial that back to where it's just rain and cloudy, and then so yeah, there's a lot in betweens and stuff like that. So
Okay.
you can make the weather whatever you want.
So which one would
gonna-
you say, Jean Grey or Storm? You got to choose one.
I would say Jean Grey because you can reach out to multiple people, and then she can even reach out across the earth.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So
I
Jean
would
Grey.
say Jean Grey is probably the most versatile. She can do mind stuff and then move stuff.
Okay.
Just no hands. So
I would like to pose a question about Jean Grey to you guys before I give my answer. Because in the old cartoon, she was so
Yes.
the smallest thing would exhaust her and make her pass out.
Yeah.
she was unnecessary.
Yeah, and so my thought is like, the telekinesis or the telepathy is, that's fine. Reading people's minds, I don't see why that would make you so tired. But the telekinesis, the moving stuff with your mind, do you think that she should be able to, like, how heavy of an object do you think she should be able to move with her mind?
Exactly. I
With
don't
ease.
know.
How
'Cause
heavy
my
of an
thought
object?
is like, you could move an object with your mind if you could, like, lift it with your body. You know what I mean?
um.
So, like, the more swole you get, the heavier an item you can lift with your brain.
But you're working out your body, not your mind, whenever you're doing that. So
You could argue you're doing both.
what?
You could argue that because when I work out my body, I work out my mind.
Do you
Go
though?
on.
Yeah. Do you though?
Yeah, your brain's a muscle. I understand that, but you're not working your brain out the same way you're working your body out.
Depends on what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So probably to work her mind out, she's like doing New New York Post crossword puzzles and this
Yeah.
and that regularly, and Sudokus all day.
Okay.
But I don't know. That was that was one thing I was questioning myself as I was coming up with her versatility. Is how is that measured? in the comic universes,
Yeah.
what objects at what limit, or how can you get better at that limit of moving objects and lifting objects, stuff like that. So yeah, I we don't know because it could be different things across different, you know, comic books and universes and this and that.
Yeah, I agree.
So then,
Um,
who is your person? Are you just saying Jean Grey, or are you
Me?
just asking the
I said
question?
Jean Grey.
Well,
Well, I
no,
was
yeah,
just
I was
curious.
talking to Devin. So who's
I was
yours?
just curious based on what he was saying because when I think about the cartoon, and I don't think of Jean Grey as being versatile because he's so useless in anything she does. Because she's like, lift a nail, pass out.
With the nail.
I mean, imagine that's probably pretty exhausting. So, I mean, I
Thinking,
get it.
thinking is hard.
There's steps. There's a spiral staircase in my office that I have to go up every day. I get pretty exhausted. I feel like passing out after going up and down that thing. So, I can't imagine like doing things with your mind. Yeah, I sympathize with her. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's like, hey, I can't lift this nail, but I can carry the whole of my body weight and fly wherever I want to go.
Well,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Well,
Maybe she's
Um,
exhausted because she is floating. You know, she's floating herself with the mine, and then trying to get that nail at the same time.
yeah, it's a
Maybe.
lot to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so
um,
who is yours?
so my initial thought was Rogue, just because like
She can have
touch
any
something, you
power.
take their memories, yeah, or memories or whatever it is you need,
Yeah.
like
But
super versatile. But
that's
it
not
looks
her
soft.
power. That's not her power though either.
It is her power. Her power
No,
is to take other people's powers and memories,
that is her power, but the power that she's taking is not hers.
but it can become
Uh,
permanent.
I guess that is pretty.
In theory, the way her powers actually work is she touches them and she should be able to recall them at any point.
Yeah.
But she does not know how to control that aspect of it.
She should be able to recall. Really,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Okay.
And if she trains hard enough, she should be able to do it without having to without hurting someone to touch her. Like that's
Oh,
the
just
goal, but that's
within,
not where she's at.
Yeah.
be within vicinity.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I choose Gambit because he, I don't know. It's what we see is more than what he has. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
he touches things, he charges it, he throws it, and blows it up. That's great. But also because his body is constantly filled with like kinetic energy, he's perfect for constantly being on the move. Whether that's in a stealthy way or a combat way. Um,
Okay. So then
So
our
he should have just have the stamina because his power is stored within him. He can just go and go and go and go.
Pretty much, yeah. And he can
Okay.
like choose how long it takes to before the object blows up. He can cancel it out. Um,
Like
things like that.
after
It just-
like after the thing has left his hand.
yeah, there was a
Oh, okay.
so if you've watched the second season of the old one, when they
Yeah.
discover Morph has come back to life,
Uh-huh.
he charges a playing card, and the Morph is like evil, and he's like impersonating the professor, and Wolverine calls it. Gambit takes a chance, and he throws the card at the professor's feet, and Morph gets up and runs, and then the card fizzles out and stops.
or
And
maybe
so he can use it
maybe he doesn't maybe he's not able to cancel it out. Maybe he just put like a little bit of kinetic
Yeah.
energy in there.
It's
not
like-
enough to
Not enough to actually
charge the atom all the
explode,
way.
but just to give it
Right.
a little glow.
True. I've also like looked up like because of his ability, it helps him cancel out like mind reader powers.
Mm-hmm.
What?
hang on. I'll
Interesting.
tell you why.
Yeah, what's the connection to that?
I gotta find it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, while you're trying to find that, here's a little hypothetical.
I got it.
Oh,
I found
well,
it.
fair. Okay.
The charged potential energy always in his body grants him the ability to build up charges of static electricity and shields his mind from detection and intrusion by even some of the most powerful telepaths.
Okay.
Ah, so just a static field
Yeah,
around
he
his
has to be
head.
willing to let them do it.
All right. Well, here's a
Oh.
hypothetical.
He also has hypnotic charm, which let's be real, like
Come on.
that's useful.
So all of our heroes that we chose, Magneto, Jean Grey, and Gambit, who wins in a three-way fight? because from what I just heard about Gambit, he has a huge leg up over Jean Grey. The whole can't
I was about
be.
to say Jean Grey would probably go out first
Yeah,
because
can't be.
apparently she passes out all the time.
I don't
Yeah.
know, man. Because if she turns into the Phoenix, like they're
I
all,
mean,
they've all
well,
lost.
this
All
is
right.
Jean. Well, Phoenix is
That's a two.
still
Yeah,
separate
we'll say
from
that's
Jean
separate. So
Grey.
just Jean
Yeah.
Grey versus Magneto versus Gambit.
I would say Jean Grey's out.
I'm
Maybe,
pulling.
well, actually, if Magneto has his helmet and what we heard from Gambit, she can't do any mind stuff.
Yeah,
either
so
of these
Jean
two.
is
She's
fucked.
out.
Yeah, Jean's done.
Yeah.
So who wins, Magneto or Gambit? I'm gonna say my boy Magneto is gonna win.
He is an Omega level.
Yeah, he's pretty great, and so I think I would take Gambit's little staff. He'd wrap it around Gambit and just choke the life out of him.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
And then also he could do something with the static field that
Yeah,
Gambit creates with this kinetic. So there could
Yeah.
be something there.
Magneto wins. Magneto wins.
I don't know
mean-
because I don't think that Gambit needs metal to fight.
He doesn't.
You know?
Anything
And-
anything he touches, he can turn into.
Anything he touches.
But
also he's nimble enough that I don't even think he has to have like the metal armor that like some of these other people.
Oh, he
are
doesn't.
wearing.
It's all padding.
So
it looks
he's
like.
less. So like, what are you gonna do? Like, yeah, you can throw stuff at him, which he can like deflect and blow up with his pieces. You know what I mean? With anything that he has.
he's gonna get tired sooner or later, and Magneto can
So
just
is Magneto.
Magneto can just float. He just do all kinds of shit and just fucking wait. Because as soon as he's huffing and puffing, he's gonna stomp his ass into the ground. Magneto wins.
But also,
I
there
don't
is an age difference
Yeah.
between the two.
I
so-
also think like his training as a thief and like someone hiding in the dark and doing all those other things are beneficial to that fight as well.
I'm just gonna say Magneto wins.
You can say that all you want. I don't think it's true.
I
But
will.
also, the iron in your blood. Haven't we seen that in one of the
Yeah, we've
very
seen that in the
first
movies.
X-Men
Yeah, but
movies?
they had to like straight up like inject that into him. They had to inject enough to be sensed.
Magneto
Remember Mystique,
wins.
Like
Let's
lures
just.
that guard into the toilet and like seduces him, drugs him, and then shoots some iron into his ass.
Yeah. Let's all just agree Magneto wins, and in turn, Greg wins. So, there we go.
Greg wins.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our topic then.
That was a fun discussion.
That was a good one. You know what? I feel bad for Tim and Flippo being here, for not being here.
Yeah, it would have been fun to hear their
Yeah.
heroes.
That could have been the whole episode. As we said at the top of the show, we're talking about Marvel Studios' animated X-Men 97. It's a very neat show. We got a 2-episode premiere this last Wednesday. Honestly, I kind of thought all the episodes would drop at once. I was kind of butthurt that it was just 2. But let's go ahead and get into it. As I said, we've waited for this season for 27 years. It's ridiculous. So my first question to y'all is, was it worth the wait? Y'all have been watching the original series a little bit, and now 27 years later we're back in it. What do y'all think? Is it good? Like where are we sitting so far? Like does it flow with the rest of the original show? Tell me your thoughts.
I can't say. I've only watched the first 2 seasons fully of the old one, but even then it was just sort of choppy with story.
Yeah.
Like they were just like
Saturday morning cartoon is what it was.
yeah, they were just like one shot little storylines. There were some continuity. So I really can't tell for the continuity between back in 97 and then now X-Men 97.
Do you? I think I talked about this with Reed. Do you guys remember the last season of X-Men?
Vaguely. I watched a little bit of it before starting 97, just to kind of see like where we were. And really the only thing that I know is Xavier dies. He gets assassinated, and that's about where
He
we're
doesn't
sitting.
even die. He's not even dead yet at the end of that season. He's flown off.
Well, it's
into
a year.
space,
Yeah,
with Space Girl.
the
Right.
first episode takes place a year later. So
Xavier has a space girlfriend. He just all right,
yeah.
bitches.
So
Just,
he died somewhere within that span of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets assassinated.
Sure.
People are racist against mutants, and here we are.
First off, I would like to say that if you watch the old stuff, I don't know which season happens because I started watching and then I skipped to the end so I could refresh my memory of the last episode before watching this. The production value drops.
I agree.
I don't know when, but it's awful.
Yeah, and this new, speaking of animation, this new season, I'm watching it and it just doesn't look right. I mean, they're trying to match the style and like the way it looked in the original, but you could tell it's computer animated.
Well, no. Here's the thing: it's hand drawn, but I think it's digitally hand drawn. You know what I mean?
It doesn't look right.
It
And
doesn't have that like pencil line or pixelated kind of looks. It's
yeah. What one of us said, yeah, it looks like Archer from FX, and I was like, yeah, that was the first thing I saw too. When like the first image you get is Charles Xavier on the news. You know, Xavier, is dead.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing I thought and saw. I was like, oh, this is going to be weird.
Yeah, it says X-Men 97 still uses mostly hand-drawn animation. They did take advantage of CG for layout or overly complicated vehicles or ships, but then they still have to go in and hand draw all of that. I do agree with you though, Devin. It is digitally drawn, and that's where it looks really different. It's not like it didn't kill the show for me. It wasn't like a bad thing. It just like
it's just something to get used to.
Yeah, it looked weird.
Yeah,
it ruined some of the character looks for me though.
Yeah,
like Magneto.
Yeah,
he looked a little
super weird.
Yeah, he looks weird.
It's like the extra like line. I don't know, and it's the eyes. It's the eyes.
And it's the lips.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to go back and look at the lips. I still can't get over the eyes.
But yeah, I do like that they kept as in season 1 of the old X-Men, like they had a very specific look for Gygric.
Garrick?
He's the guy with the glasses.
Garrick, I think.
With the green blazer.
Yeah. They had a very specific look for him. And then in the last season of the old show, they changed that look. But when they came back for this season, they went back to the old look.
Yeah,
where, you can't
the green
look through his glasses and
and the sort of orange brownish tie.
Yeah.
Which I did like. I liked that look a whole lot better.
Yeah. So the first episode begins. It's a year later. The X-Men are kind of figuring out where they're going to go. Scott is the leader at the moment, Cyclops. And it's right off the bat, there's one moment in the first episode that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It's whenever we first get introduced to Morph. And I found it a little insensitive that he morphed into their dead mentor just for a quick joke, a little jab. And so I'm just like, really? I don't know if that's a proper thing to do. But
I think that is the character of Morph though, because he did do it in the old series.
Yeah.
And so and also everything he's been through and stuff like that. It's just a deflection. And again, being somebody that can change who they are and have to impersonate other people, there's probably no more original whoever he was before being Morph.
Yeah.
After everything he's been through and all that.
Yeah, he is. I think I saw something that said this season he's going to be dealing a whole lot with PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you see that in the beginning, in the title sequence in the new parts, where he's like shooting something in the dark.
Yeah, maybe all of his personalities are starting to catch up with him and all that stuff.
In the old series, he got mind controlled by Mr. Sinister, and he was fighting that. Oh, I don't want to hurt the X-Men, my friends. And then you would see him, like the shadow in his face would go weird, and you would know that's the bad side of Morph that Mr. Sinister has control of.
Right.
I will say that Morph is a badass in the new season.
Yeah.
Because he actually uses his powers the way that they should be used, as opposed to the old one where it's just like, I'm going to infiltrate something, and then I'm gonna shoot someone.
Yeah, just gonna.
He switched into Archangel, and
Yeah,
like I was like, can he do that with his powers?
Yeah,
Like, I guess.
he uses it for traversal, combat. Like it's actually like really cool, and the combat in the show is really neat.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I liked Morphs and Wolverine's. With Wolverine, he has his speedball special with Colossus. I
yeah,
like that he has combos and names for him with the other X-Men. And
yeah,
so this one, he's like Morph, belly up, and Morph turns into Blob,
yeah,
and he lays down, and that's how Wolverine launches. And I thought that was cool.
yeah. The combat is definitely a big step up. I mean, obviously, like technology has come a long way in animation, where they can actually do a lot more cool stuff. And
Yeah.
the first fight scenes in the first episode are great. I loved the whole versus the Sentinel fight with the whole gang. The thing that we saw in the trailer where Gambit lights up Wolverine's claws and everything. It's really neat, and I like how they're really leaning into how the original show was. Like it reminds me that I'm watching back when cartoons and animated shows like that back in the 90s were very well written, surprisingly well written. One of the big ones that stand out is in episode 2, Magneto's speech to the court while he's raising them up and everything. Oh my god, goosebumps. I was like, this is going like that set the tone for me. I didn't love the first episode, but the second episode was where it was at. And
I liked all the combat from the first episode.
yeah,
Like that opening combat where he like comes in, where Cyclops like blasts his way in, and as he's fighting, he's just sliding around the floor by blasting himself.
yeah,
around.
he's using his beam.
That's
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I love it whenever they take off his little visor and he's like, no, no, don't. And just opens up his eyes and
He's
then
like,
blows
yeah,
it.
whatever.
Yeah, it just blows
He
everything
got
up.
me. He got me because he did that. I was like, does he have a weakness that I don't know about?
I know, what a wuss. I know, does he not want to hurt these people? And then he opened his eyes, he was like, ah, there he is. But I don't know, it's really neat. It's amazing how they did 2 episodes and the show has just blown up. It's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, tremendous scores. And I find that really impressive. It's the highest rated MCU project pretty much ever.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I have
and
a complaint.
oh yeah, what's your complaint?
It's about the voices. I
Yes.
understand that they brought back the whole cast, but some of them,
Almost.
not most of the whole cast,
They got
but
old.
some of them still don't sound the same. and
Yeah, they
it
got
saddens
old.
me. I was
Well,
talking to
okay.
my dad
Did you
about
hear?
it.
It's 27 years later.
I
Yeah.
know.
Do you think you're going to sound the same in 27 years?
No, but here's the thing. I think that if they did not sound the same, if they could not recreate those voices, you should have found someone who could.
Mm,
That's my stance.
I agree and also
Because, like-
disagree with that because these are
Well,
their
because-
characters.
Yes. But there are also these characters who are only a year older now. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like Wolverine, my dad said it's the same guy, but
Yeah.
and I can hear hints of him, but I don't think it's that he can't recreate it. I think he forgot how, because he does things that It's not about the voice; it's about how he's saying them.
Yeah. He
He's,
sounds like a
leaning
pirate.
really hard into those R's.
Yeah, he sounds like a pirate. That was like all the voices I could live with, but Wolverine's was the only one that stood out where I'm just like, that's not right. But no,
man.
like he sounds like a pirate. Like it's really weird, but I don't know. People
Rogues is
get
my voice.
people get old, and I mean, I think it's awesome that they brought back the original voice actors.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too.
But no, I agree with you though. They don't sound the same, and it's really weird if
Some
you're
of them
it's weird if you're trying to watch it in continuity, just like continuously, like you just leave off on the 6th season and come into the 5th season and then come into the new season, and it's just like, oh wait, what happened?
Well, because I think that like the person that plays Storm, the same. Beast, the same.
Yeah.
Cyclops, pretty much the same. Rogue sounds like a smoker, and I miss that that like sexy Southern accent that she had when she was younger.
I do
Yeah,
declare.
that Bayou accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gambit is not the same actor.
Yeah.
And my dad could easily point that out. He's like, he does not sound the same. But I have a hard time hearing it because Gambit does not talk a whole lot.
Yeah, he
So
only
far.
spoke a little bit in the first episode.
Yeah, I didn't think it was too bad though for Gambit at least. But yeah, definitely. I mean, of course, the Rogue voice actor is somebody different, and just such the iconic setup that the original voice actor. It just too big of shoes to fill, and we're not getting that, so it's hard to.
No, it's the same person. The Rogue
Is it?
voice is
Yeah,
the
Rogue.
same
Yeah,
person.
Rogue is the same actress. Magneto's a
I
different.
thought I looked it up, and I thought it was different. I
No,
guess I'm
same person. She's just older, and
my
and
bad.
has smoked
Okay.
since then.
Yeah, Magneto is a different actor. That's a new actor to the role.
That doesn't bother me though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beast is the same.
Mhm.
Morph is a new actor. Gambit, I think. Yeah, Gambit's a new actor. Bishop's a new actor. So, like, yeah, they kind of replaced some people. But the core voice actors that we know that were there in the original, age got the better of them in most parts, and they do sound a little different. But again,
They lost.
it
They
doesn't.
lost it, like you said.
Yeah,
but
it
again,
doesn't kill
age.
the show for me though.
Yeah.
I had very little complaints about the first. The first episode was, I think, the weaker start. Like, I didn't really care, but to kind of give the second episode some love, this is where it really popped off for me.
Yeah.
My jaw dropped whenever that one dude shot Storm and eradicated her powers. My jaw dropped, and it was heartbreaking because Storm's whole thing is not only can she control the weather, but she feels it. She's been so in tune with nature, and that all of a sudden, whenever she gets hit with that, she's like, I can't feel the wind. And all that stuff, and I was just heartbroken for her. I was just like, that sucks. And I totally thought Magneto was going to lose it. Like, I thought, like, whenever he was raising up the court people, I thought he was just going to drop them, be like, screw you guys, I'm going home. And then
I tried for 2 minutes.
yeah, and so, like, but no, he just sternly just lays into them and been like, "Buck y'all," and the horse y'all rode in on, and then like left. I was like, that's great. And so the writing in episode two,
great threatening way he did it too.
yeah, like a calm anger, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, I love it.
But like taking him into the sky, and then putting the guy that shot Storm on their emblem.
Yeah.
And, and like twisting him and floating in the air.
Yeah, like this
just
is
putting the fear of God in him.
yeah, like this is what you humans are. Y'all are just fucking assholes. So I'm lotting you all together. But it's just like episode 2 was phenomenal, and
I think it's also showing them, hey, here's what I can do, but I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, like
for my friend Charles.
Yeah, like all of y'all's lives are literally in my hands right now, and they can be ended like that.
Yeah,
but I won't.
How do you feel?
Stop this hate, or I'm gonna stop it for you.
Yeah, screw you guys. Like yeah.
How do you feel about the Rogue Magneto thing that they introduced? Because that was never hinted at in the old stuff.
Well, Rogue used to be a bad guy in the animated series, so now that she's good, and Magneto and Rogue kind of have that in common, that they both were bad, trying to find the middle ground and be accepted as a better person now. So maybe it's just trying to create a new relationship there, that they share a common ground and they almost feel ostracized from the rest of the X-Men for their past, and that they're just trying to they find comfort in each other.
No. They've hinted that they have already had a relationship. Like a physical, intimate relationship. Like
that silver fox.
I think it might be somebody's memories that she has, and I don't know. I think it's something like that.
Well,
because when
Magneto,
she takes powers or touches somebody, she takes their memories, right?
Magneto's the one that's insisting on it, because he's like, oh, well, we've already touched. That's why, like, he starts to take off her glove the first time they're together. and then like she's like, no, that's gonna stay. That's the secret that's gonna stay hidden. And then at the end, they like actually take
Yeah.
off the glove and they touch, and nothing happens. And so
Right.
we learn like A, there's a reason why she can. We just don't know what it is yet. But B, like they have clearly kaboink kaboinked in the past.
Well, I don't know. Are we supposed
or
to?
something similar?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think we should jump to kaboing kaboing, whatever you said. But there was some intimacy, but I don't know if it was sexually.
It was just light naked cuddling. It's fine.
Yeah, in the children's animated show,
And then
100%
poor
Rotten
Gambit.
Tomatoes loves it.
And then Gambit, when she walks out of his room and he's just like there and he drops his card, and that's the beginning of his supervillain story. Probably haven't.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up and see if there's a reason.
Oh, he might
Well,
be. He
in
might
the
try
comics-
to push. He might try to push and, aggravate Magneto.
At some point in the
Interesting,
comics,
yeah.
I know that like she takes Polaris's power, and I think she might have held on too long, and it might be like some of it is still like partially like permanently in her, and the explanation they gave was that like their attractions or their magnetic fields are opposite, and so they cancel each other out so they can touch.
It says that there's answers to it in the comics, but not in the show. The
Yes.
most recent reason is that Magneto is able to produce a magnetic shield that protects him from Rogue's powers. However,
I figured,
numerous other reasons have been preferred by Marvel Comics. Crossover event in Age of Apocalypse. Rogue permanently absorbs Polaris's magnetic powers, and then she's able to touch Magneto that way. Like their powers cancel out and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So I don't know. They're
As I stated.
maybe they're
Yeah.
just trying to create a new reason. I don't know.
Have you guys seen the thing? I saw something online the other day that I was really excited about. So the old cartoon was full of like crossovers, like Spider-Man and other
Fantastic Four.
groups.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
so-
I haven't gotten to that part of the series in.
Well, even in like the old Spider-Man cartoon, like he went to the X-Men like a few times in a few different seasons. How do you feel about the idea that they might bring some of those actors back for crossovers in this new season?
That'd be cool.
That could be pretty
I feel like-
interesting.
I feel like I saw something that said like, "Hold on to your tights because that's what's happening," but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I think somebody's calling a shot, maybe.
I think
But, I mean, that would be cool.
if it's done in a correct way, because one of the things that I'm liking about the show so far, it's really delving into like storytelling. Crossover events are just to get views and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
I mean, if it happens, great. I don't want it to be like a core driving force throughout the first season. And so I think if it does happen, cool, that's great. Like, hey, there they are. But as long as the show keeps up its like main plot, like its goal so far, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah,
Um,
agreed.
I was going to ask you something else.
Wonderful.
One of the things the pervert boys on the internet were upset about with
Oh.
the show, you know what I'm going to say?
Yes.
I don't.
Was that they and some of the characters, the
Oh.
female characters,
Yeah.
they got rid of that bootylicious booty.
Yeah, they're not as voluptuous in chest and nether regions.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me because obviously, like, as a kid, you're watching it, you're just like, yeah, get them, guys. It's the adults who are just like, yeah, get them, guys. And so it's I don't know, like, as we grew up, we started noticing that, like, damn, these characters have it going on. And I think,
Yeah, who's baking the cake there at Xavier Mansion?
yeah, it's like,
Bro.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It doesn't bother me. And those who are bothered by it are just dweebs. I don't
Weird
know.
about it.
saw-
Yeah, they're really weird.
I saw
So,
a meme that was like clearly in this new season, the Captain Marvel she stole the powers from were Brie Larson
oh,
because in her super suit it's like a flat butt.
yeah. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I'm there for the story, and so I mean, say what you will, but I'm 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 not attracted to cartoons, so
Yeah,
I
the
don't
only thing
know.
Greg's rubbing it off for is Magneto
Yeah. Oh my
and the
god,
lips.
that silver
Those
fox.
lips.
Ugh. Take me in your arms, Magneto. You're
Yeah, he's not as menacing in this at
well.
all. Like
He's trying
even
to
when he
turn over a
isn't
new leaf.
menacing,
He's
Yeah, and also it's only been 2 episodes.
I know, but like I'm just looking at his outfit and I'm like, what's with the like hooker
yeah.
sleeves?
I don't love
Oh
that.
yeah, that whole outfit.
Yeah, I don't love the new
Weird.
outfit, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think he's trying to turn over a new leaf. I think we'll get a big reveal that maybe he's not. And part of me also thinks Charles Xavier may still be alive. So who knows where this season is going to go?
I'm sure he's still going to be alive because that is going to help further the
Yeah.
series. So I'm sure.
Well, I have a theory that he is dead, but in the old movies and in the comics, when he's died and he's come back to life, it's because he's found a way to transfer his consciousness into a mind of a potato, not a
Mhm.
real potato, but like a person who like is
Oh,
alive
call
but
him
brain dead.
something better than a potato. They're
Yeah.
still a person.
A
A
catat a
vegetable is that
catato-
better?
a catatonic person, perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah. Um,
You could have done better though.
yeah, you said potato, and my mind literally went to his little hover chair with just a potato in
Yeah, it's
it.
powered by a potato.
It's just like, to me, my X-Men. Like, just calls them. Just you see the little rays come out of
It's
a
just an
potato.
empty chair.
Yeah.
Wait, who said that?
Guys, I found another sticker we can make.
Yeah. Yeah. Potato.
Potato that says
Potato. Yeah.
Potato Xavier,
Professor Potato.
to
But
me, my G-men.
all right. Well, let's go on ahead and drift into final thoughts. Reed, we'll start with you. Anything that you left out or need to say again, and then Capes.
Thought, yeah, animation, of course, is different and weird, but not enough to discourage. So something to get used to, along with the voices. Of course, 27 years is going to change. I do like that they did bring all the originals back. So I think that is very cool
Mm-hmm.
of the Marvel Studios. And um, I mean, yeah, after second episode, just really popping it off now.
I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see this storyline. So and yeah, very action packed so far, which is good. So I'll give it 9. I don't want to give it a total 10 right now, so I'll give it a 9.
A cautious 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty good. Devin, what about you?
I really like that
Oh,
they
never mind. I'm sorry. You already said Capes. Forgive me. Go ahead.
I really like that they brought in the like the old theme song, but I
Yes.
also like that they updated it for Morph and Bishop, who were never included in the old theme song.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Morph's new look. I know that some people don't because we're in the generation that's like, oh, gender identity and stuff and so on and so forth. But some of the people that are not from that generation are like, well, why do you have to become all gender neutral?
Yeah,
And
they turned
blah, blah,
X-Men
blah,
all
blah, blah.
PC. So, yeah.
Now they're the X people.
Um, but so I really like that aspect. I like his new look. I feel like it makes more sense, and I feel like he's more included now that he's actually using his abilities to the most and not just hide and shoot.
Yeah.
Um, other than that, I'm really enjoying it. I would give it. I'm still getting used to the voices and some of the animation, but so far right now, after the ending of episode 2 with Madeline Pryor showing up, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
which one's the real one?
Yeah, like what the hell
Um,
is going on?
yeah, I have a feeling that the Jean Grey that he had the baby with is actually going to be Madeline Pryor. That's
Yeah.
what I feel.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
Who's Madeline Pryor again?
Mr. Sinister makes a clone of Jean and calls him Madeline Pryor.
I was thinking that or it was going to be Mystique, but who knows?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Even I looked it up before. Sorry, I have a Marvel's Encyclopedia, updated and expanded, Morph is not in here.
Really?
Does he go by another name, or what's his real name? Because he's not in here. There's more. There's Morbius.
Is there like
M-O-R-B, Morlocks. He's not in here.
Is it alphabetical, or is there like sections, like an X-Men section or something like that? Maybe search there, or look at look at the index. Look in the look at the index. What are your capes, Devin?
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 10 because I feel like this is. Oh, he was originally called Changeling. Try that.
Okay.
Because I foresee that, like, just with these first 2 episodes, the first episode wasn't the best, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
I can only see it. I don't if so long as no episode is worse than the first one.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty solid.
All right, that's pretty good. We've said it before. The animation is not show killing. It just takes some getting used to. We're so used to a certain way that it's supposed to look, and kind of got to readjust our eyes to the light. But I think it's pretty solid. I really enjoy the writing of it. I think writing is very important, and they're not. I've said it a million times. Everybody is a Tony Stark now in the MCU, and it's so great to get something that's different. And this feels different, and I love it. It's phenomenal. I love the characters. I'm very interested to see where it's going so far, and it's pretty good to be back in the X-Men universe. What are you gonna say, Devin? What's up?
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah.
How would you feel if they did the same treatment with the other old Fox animated 90s cartoons like Spider-Man and Fantastic Four?
My thought is I don't want what's already happening to the MCU to happen to this new animated part of the MCU, where oversaturation ruins everything. So I'd be fine with them maybe rebooting maybe 2 or 3 more shows. That would be great. I don't want like all of what we once had back in the 90s, because oversaturation could be a bad thing, which we're seeing a lot in Disney.
Do you want this to have more than 1 season? Or just to be like, oh, we came back with it and now we're done. We told the story one.
I definitely, depending on how the season continues, I would want to see more, because if this is just a 1 more season just so we can end it our way, that's cool. But if it has potential to grow and more, which I think if the writing continues to be as good, it does have potential to keep going. I wouldn't mind seeing maybe, you know what, screw it, 5 more seasons. Give me 5 more seasons of this show. If it stays good.
Change the animation so it gets worse as we go.
it's stick figures by the end of it. It's just there. But no, I mean, if the writing continues to be good and the story continues to be furthered in an appropriate way, I could probably see some more seasons of this show happening. That being said, my capes, I'm going to give this a 9. The first episode wasn't great. I would have given it like a 7, but the second season bumped that shit up to a 9, and I'm very interested to see where this keeps going, and I hope it stays strong, and that's what I'm hoping from this show. Well, I guess let's go on ahead and end this here. Thank you so much for joining us for the Cape Complainers. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
And check out our YouTube channel and our Twitch stream, where we are trying to stream every Sunday. We'll get that back up shortly.
Yeah, and also you can find this show just about anywhere podcasts are heard. A couple of notable favorites: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, if Tim has been uploading them, which I don't think he has been. But you can find us just about anywhere. And do not forget my X-Men or my G-Men. No one complains like a fan. All right, we will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.